introduce, forgive me later, Bettina Schemp.
Yep, that's good.
All right, I nailed it. Benton Habitat for Humanity. Go.
Welcome, everyone. And thanks so much for giving your time as volunteers to listen to all of us and reviewing all our applications. I'm moving from food, which is an essential need, to housing, which is another essential need of our local community. And our request is to assist us with building more affordable housing, or home ownership opportunities is what I should call it, because there is that, that long continuum of homelessness to rentals to home ownership. And we serve low-income families on 25 to 60% of hard medium income to give them the opportunity for home ownership. What does 25 to 60% hard medium income mean, and what does it actually mean to what people can afford? Most of our families could never afford a traditional mortgage. If a family of four on about 30% of hard medium income would earn $24,000 a year gross, and in social services, 30% of that is seen as an affordable housing cost. So that would be their rent or their home ownership cost plus any utilities. And on $24,000, that calculates to $600 a month. And you can imagine that it is very hard in Corvallis or in Benton County to find housing that is large enough, that is sizable enough for $600 a month. And $600 a month for a mortgage would mean that the mortgage with interest would have to be well below $80,000. Again, there's a big difference between what a family can afford and what an average house in our community would cost for that family. So the Habitat for Humanity model with a 0% mortgage over 20 to 30 years and with sweat equity and volunteer input in the construction of the home to reduce the cost is how we make this affordable to families. Those are the two key elements, the 0% mortgage and the sweat equity, the volunteer labor in the home. So when a family then purchases a home, the costs at the moment for a home of $130,000 would be around $600, including property taxes and insurance and the cost of the home on a 30-year mortgage. And that makes it affordable for families that we serve. We have, over the last 20 years, and on the 3rd of June will be our 20th anniversary, we have built on average 1.3 homes a year. 1.3 homes over 20 years. And our strategic plan sees us building 2 to 3 to 4 homes by 2017. By 2017, actually 3 homes a year, that's where we want to get. And what holds us back is cash. It's not volunteer time, it's not volunteer enthusiasm, it's the pure cash that it costs to buy the land, to pay for the permits, and to pay for all the materials to build the homes. That is what's been holding us back over the last 20 years, and that's what's still holding us back. We've done other things in the last 2 years to allow us to build more homes. One is that we're looking at land trusts, ground leases, as a way of reducing the cost of the home and keeping the land in perpetuity for some families. We've also restructured our mortgages, so if a family moves on and builds the wealth so they can have a traditional mortgage and sell the home, that we retain more of the value in the home for longer, so that the money comes back to us so we can reinvest it. But there's always limits to what we can do in terms of affordability. So we're asking for $7,000 for two homes that we plan to build from May this year and complete early next year. That we've already purchased the sites. We were fortunate enough to find a site for 5 homes, and we'll be building the first 2. And the $7,000 will be part of that funding package for the home. So you might be asking, what are the other funding sources we have? Now, one of our success stories is our Restore. You might drive past us on 9th Street, and I'm proud to say that over the last 6 years, almost 7 years, the store has grown large enough to fund 1 home a year. That's what it funds. Yeah, so 1 home a year is built by the store that builds homes. So every time you donate there, every time you buy there, you as a community supporting us and our families to build 1 home a year. For the other home that we want to build, we have a number of income sources. One is that our partner families pay their mortgages. So at the moment, about $40,000 a year comes in from those mortgages, and we call that the Fund for Humanity. So we reinvest those mortgages as they come back and build more homes. So the $7,000 you would be giving us wouldn't just be for those 2 homes that we're building in Philomath. They would be coming back and build more homes in the future as those families pay their mortgages. We also get donations from the community. We get grants. We write grant requests as we can. We also have, in the 3rd year now, a Habitat Run that goes from CV and is a very hilly and demanding run. So if you're into a half marathon from CV up to Dimple Hill and back, you have to put that September 10 in your calendar and join us. And so there's a number of funding sources, and I write smaller grants. We also get in-kind contributions through our affiliation with Habitat for Humanity for materials in our homes, so that reduces the cash cost of the homes. So we work there. We bring in, once a year, a group of volunteers through the Habitat for Humanity Global Village program, and those volunteers pay for the privilege of being here, working in our houses for a week, and they give us a donation. And 2 years ago, they did that at 105 degrees in July. And they never complained. They still had fun. So the funds that you give us complete that funding package. We're currently at about 1.6, 1.7 homes a year. We have been complementing our last 2 years where we've built 2 homes because one family sold their home, and the cash that came back, assisted us in completing the funding package and accelerating it. But this 7,000 is important for us to complete the funding package for what we're going to start in May this year. The plans are already half drawn up. They go in on the 2nd of May, and then we hope to break ground later in May. And if you do that, what you do is really you build a home, you build hope, and you will build better futures for those families. Our families in this economic crisis over the last 3 years have weathered the storm probably better than many low-income families because they've been able to put money aside. They have home payments that don't go up. 0% mortgage means you start with $600 on your mortgage and you finish with $600 on your mortgage. So as their income has grown, their house payments have reduced as a percentage of their total income. So our default rates are very low, and even families that I know that had reduced hours in their jobs, or one partner has lost their job, they've all stayed in their homes, and we've been able to work with them. Another skill that we give them that is probably not traditional home development is the skills that are earned in the sweat equity. Our families do 500 hours of sweat equity, and it's not just a down payment, it's also for them to learn how to build a home and later maintain it. So they learn valuable skills. They can go to our restore to buy the very affordable materials as they maintain their homes, but they have the skills to maintain their roofs, their gutters, their homes as their homes age, and they are homeowners. So they learn those skills, and they build relationships. Habitat, in many ways, is not just about building homes, it's about building community. People that come on our building sites come from all different walks of lives, all different ages, many students, retired people, women, men, all different ethnicities, and they come together and they learn and understand each other better as they go on. And they can go and they can see these pictures that I have here. When they drive by a home that they've helped build or paint or a roof, that's where they can have that pride later on. So I hope that you can give us that $7,000 to build hope.
How many families do you currently have on the waiting list?
About 60 at any time that have an interest, and we go out for orientation once a year when we have a new site, and then probably between 12 and 15 apply. Because the application form is pretty rigorous in terms of, it's like applying for a mortgage. There's also credit checks, all background checks, financial.
One last question.
The mortgage is Habitat funded?
At this stage, we hold all our mortgages. If a family wants to refinance, we are happy to do that. We also working with USDA at the moment for some of our future homes to be funded through USDA 502 loans. In the past, we weren't able to do that because they have interest, but Habitat's now allowing us to work with USDA 502 lots, and we're hoping to do that in Philomath or in the rural parts of the county. So,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Again, you know